We are so excited to bring to you the 1 week later of Deadpool Wolverine. But as you may notice, we're really close together, and there's a reason for that. We want you to like, share, and subscribe. That's first and foremost. But second thing, we have an amazing guest that is joining us for the first time in a long time. And that is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who knows things, and he knows, he's got the bucket. He's got the Deadpool Wolverine bucket. He's ahead of the game.
Cop the merch.
He's got the merch. It is Captain, Spider-Man himself, AJ Orsini from the AJ Orsini's Uncensored Mind podcast. Man, it has been a minute since you've been in this realm of the universe. It's been a minute since Billy and I have gotten together on this.
I know. I think, When was the last time we did anything? Like,
it was Ghostbusters. It's been a long time. Yeah, seriously. There may be a fourth guest, but if that happens, we will have some configuration change. Just hopefully he makes it through.
Hopefully.
We have gotten to watch probably the epitome of what everyone was going to try in nut shame, but actually just blew us out of the water. We're talking about Deadpool Wolverine. I mean, you clicked on the thumbnail. Yeah, you clicked on the thumbnail. You know what you're talking about here.
Best bubs.
Best bubs. Movie with a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a lot of surprises, a lot of cameos that we didn't expect.
And ones that we didn't even realize.
And ones that we didn't realize, yeah. There is just
Connie's in this thing.
Yeah. I am so ready to unpack this. Let me tell you.
I've never been harder in my life. Let's go. I'm prepared to have this full conversation right now.
Absolutely.
I watched the movie as I'm watching the movie, I'm making bullet points in my head specifically for this podcast. So I'm ready to go.
Look at that. Exactly. We have actually planned this just almost as long as the movie itself has been covered.
Yeah. The conversation about us being on the podcast today started months ago.
Yeah.
Months ago. So I'm glad to finally be here.
Yes. All right. Well, let's kick it off. I'm going to read the old synopsis. Deadpool's peaceful existence comes to a crashing down when the Time Variance Authority recruits him to safeguard the multiverse. He soon unites with a would-be pal, Wolverine, to complete the mission and save his world from an existential threat.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. That is truly Deadpool Wolverine in a nutshell. Let us hop into the cast. So everybody you can think of in the Marvel universe, except for Spider-Man, was in it. So I don't really have to go through the cast. That's going to be a quick one this week.
It's a who's who, if you will.
It is a who's who. All right. Well, let's hop right into the meat and potatoes, if you will. Mm-hmm. Talk about what worked.
What worked with Ryan Reynolds' meat. That's what worked.
Ryan Reynolds figured out a way to get himself some long ass hair and hop around like a fucking hippie.
Who doesn't regenerate.
Yeah.
That's the real reason.
Yeah. He's the only one that didn't. It's like, all right, we'll start with you, AJ. Tell us what you think worked.
Okay, so what I think worked was what many people may call genius. I think people of our ilk who work and live within this realm of entertainment with comic books and the MCU, and specifically, we would call these things common sense. Yes. I think what worked was all the things that people kept screaming up at the top of their lungs would work if you just try it just to see how it would go. And I think the code word for this movie specifically, fan service. It was very fan service heavy. We say cameos and surprises, but at the same time, they did manage to squeeze in story within those surprises and cameos and the jokes and the fourth wall breaks. This movie has all of the stuff that you're familiarized with the Deadpool franchise, the way that Ryan Reynolds and his people have come up with the Deadpool character throughout their movies. And I'm happy to say that even it being in the MCU didn't change a whole lot of that formula, which is great. If anything, they probably felt more free. House money, let's just go with it and see how far we can really take this. And they stayed as true to the franchise as they possibly could. I think that's what sets it apart from a lot of the MCU films that have been released recently, because recently I think there's been a lot of vibe and feel that some of these movies are trying to quote unquote freshen things up, try different angles. Let's see if we can introduce something new. They managed to introduce quite a few new things without actually leaving what makes the franchise what it is. So for me, what made it work, I feel like Ryan being Ryan, Hugh being Hugh, and I'll give extra credit to Hugh for finding a way to take a character that he has played a billion times, and in this environment with this cast, still finding a way to give us a Wolverine that we really haven't seen before.
Yeah.
While still giving us a Wolverine that we were definitely waiting to see in the MCU. So there was a lot of moving parts. They still found a way to make it all work, I think.
I agree. Billy, what worked for you?
Okay, I got a lot of stuff on this. One, we got the montage of the different Wolverines. We got to see actual comic book accurate Wolverine at one point.
Yeah.
The little 5'2" little short guy.
Oh my god, almost Puck-like. He was out and just. Yeah.
Were you upset that wasn't Danny DeVito?
A little bit. I was a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I started blasting.
Even blasted.
Corridor Digital did a Wolverine with Danny DeVito online once.
Hello, Brandon.
Oh, we got Brandon.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah! All
right.
In the final hour.
He made it. Son of a bitch. Yes.
I'm hoping there's no further interruptions.
No, you can't.
Even now, I'm anticipating. You say that, and I hear you fine.
Always has the most fun.
We're just all the things that worked in the movie.
Yeah, we're at what works. So go ahead, finish up Billy, and then we'll go right to Brandon.
Okay, well, also, I like that they did the rule of threes for the multiverse movies. You got the legacy casting.
And my
you got
computer's lagging.
The fan casting of a disappointing actor from the past getting a redemption arc.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the project that never actually happened that gets brought in as a comic punchline.
Yes.
So we get to see Gambit for the first time. And it's a joke about a movie that never got made.
Yes.
Just like how when we saw Multiverse Madness, we saw John Krasinski, the Mr. Fantastic, we never got to have.
Yeah.
But this time it actually worked. Where Multiverse Madness, you got pissed off by that because you were like, they killed Mr. Fantastic off as a punchline? That's such a fucking joke. Somehow Gambit lives and you're like, that is hilarious. Sure, he's annoying as hell.
Now, I got to ask the group before we go to Brandon. Do we think that he overhyped or overplayed the character on purpose as a comic relief?
I hope so. I hope so. Because that's being serious. And dear God, wow, is he an overrated actor?
I wasn't on board with anything that I saw. What I really was on board for with the Gambit was the action sequences.
Yeah, he was dope.
Had him fight with the cards and all that other stuff and the explosions. That was hot. As soon as he opened his mouth, I lost my shit. I was like, "Oh wow!" I was
shit! Oh, too close. It was like
he sounded like a French foghorn leghorn. Is that
is the truth.
I say, "Don't drink my liquor, mon ami."
All right, Brandon, what worked for you?
Almost everything worked for me. I have almost zero complaints about the movie. I do have complaints, but mostly minimal stuff.
That's great.
Would you say nitpicking? Nitpicking things?
Yeah, like if I say it's a perfect movie, then I'm just then I'm just lying. Yeah, I'm just lying. I'm just jockeying on the hairs of Marvel's testicles if I say that. So
greatest film I have ever seen that's ever been made. Wipes its ass with The Godfather and Scarface and all.
Yes.
Takes a shit
Yeah,
on the
so I loved almost everything. And we were talking about Gambit. Even the things that didn't work for Gambit were for me just perfect. Like was he overplaying his part? Probably. Kind of reminded me of the Cajuns from Waterboy.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
and since I've never like having never met a Cajun myself in real life, I'm gonna go and say that he was a perfect Cajun. I have no I have no way to say he did that wrong. That is how Gambit's
based on my
supposed to
no
sound.
experience, he was all right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That was a perfect Cajun.
Yeah, that's what all Cajuns sound like. I've talked to a few Cajuns. They all sound like that.
Yep.
Yeah, very well.
I'm surprised he didn't use the word crawfish at some point. I was waiting for it.
I was waiting to say, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
go
gumbo.
get a whole bucket of crawdaddy.
No gumbo.
Little gumbo.
Little
Whatever.
gumbo.
Hey, he didn't
Oh,
even
yeah.
have a stove. He's lucky he had liquor.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very lucky he had liquor. One of the things that you brought up, AJ, and I thought that they had the fun comic accurate ones. You sent me this earlier. It is the furry Wolverine.
At least they gave us the brown outfit. They gave us the short Wolverine. They gave us the Jesus comic book cover.
Yeah.
They gave us all this. They should have
Ancient Apocalypse.
somewhere in there. Throw the fucking furry outfit on and just go all the way with that bitch just for a second. Like even if Deadpool would have went through the teleport thing and just went no.
Yeah, just walk
5 seconds of him just in the furry. Can you imagine Hugh Jackman that ripped, that jack, 6'2" with a teddy bear costume? Just that would have been crazy.
They should have put Cavill in that one.
Yeah. Now, how about that shit? Because everybody was like, "Oh, Cavill could be the new Wolverine."
Cavalrine, it's true.
Cavalrine, yeah, Super Wolves, and that cameo, that was the one that shocked me. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Didn't they hate Hugh Jackman because he was too big to be Wolverine?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they went. So their idea is that they want to go bigger now.
Yeah, exactly. That dude's huge.
Hold on.
Cavill's
Did anyone actually hate Hugh for Wolverine?
At
like,
first,
sure,
they were complaining he was
yeah.
too tall. That was it.
They were pretty upset.
Oh,
People
yeah.
said he wasn't comic accurate with the height.
I mean, I agree. He's not comic accurate with the height, but I wouldn't say I hate the man.
No, but there were haters. There were people that were like, "Why didn't you get Harvey Keitel or Kurt Russell?" There were people that were saying that stuff in the early days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about bringing.
Well, how tall is Kurt Russell though?
Kurt
Russell's still shorter than Hugh Jackman.
But he's not 5'3" either. I don't think anyone was really upset at Hugh for being a 6 foot, heathen of a
I
man.
guess if they wanted a height accurate.
I like to bring facts to the table, and
Holy shit, Kurt Russell's 5'9".
5'9". Yeah, I just looked it up myself. Yeah.
I can't believe that. I thought he was taller.
Yeah, he's
still taller than me.
Not a scout man.
Kurt Russell and I, we have something in common. It's called height.
Hugh Jackman is 6'2".
Oh, Hugh Jackman's taller than Henry Cavill. So, all right, they're going the other way.
Yeah, Cavill's 6'1". I mean, an inch or two. What's an inch or two? That's what I keep telling my wife. What's an inch or two? Hey,
I tell my wife that all the time, and then she goes, "Good to the draw." No. Yeah. So now let's hop. Oh, what did I think worked? What I thought worked: the amazing cameos, the absolutely bananas fight scene between Wolverine and Deadpool. I thought that was comic accurate. They even got the moment where he stabs Wolverine with the 2 swords and he has them over his head. I thought that was amazing. I have that comic somewhere, and if you want to buy it, check out my eBay page. Real nice seller 22.
You fucking shill.
I am a shiller.
Time to plug.
Yes, plug. I also thought the army of Deadpools really worked, including this woman who was Lady Deadpool.
I was pissed she didn't take the mask off.
Yeah, you wanted to know who the face was?
I heard the voice. I was like, "Oh, all right, take the mask off."
Yeah, never happened.
Probably that shit at home.
And one of the things I believe I was talking with Billy on the phone about this one was The director and crew said that, and the writers said, we're not going to, Logan went on such a high note. The Hugh Jackman saga was over. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to bring it up. It's not going to that story's closed. It's over. And then the whole intro is him
opening scene. They're like,
he's like,
Logan.
He dug up his dead body.
But they did keep, if you think about it, they did kind of keep it the way that it was, because that version was indeed still very much dead, as he put it.
Yeah. He was dead.
I as soon as the signature played and he starts with the digging, I was like, oh my fucking, within 5 seconds of this movie, he's already shitting on exactly the one thing he said he wouldn't shit on.
Yeah.
I was like, awesome.
I thought that was
the only problem with that literally that it might have been the funniest joke.
It was the funniest joke, for sure. For sure it was
that might have been the funniest joke for me. They got rid of it so early.
Right in the beginning. What did you say, Bill?
I said they desecrated Logan's corpse for real.
Yeah, for sure.
What Wolverine would have wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
The skeleton caused the death of several innocent men.
Yeah. I'm dead and I'm still killing people, bub. And the other thing is, of course, the amazing Blade cameo. Like,
yes.
His beard was weird. He's
the one and only.
The one and only.
The one
only been one Blade, and the only ever be one.
Deadpool's look right into the camera when he says that.
Yeah. He's like, I know I ain't supposed to break the third wall, but fuck it.
Yo, imagine being Sticky Fingers watching this movie. It's like, hey, I was Blade in the TV show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know what
that's crazy.
It's like, come on, man.
That's
no
when one of
for Onyx at all.
That's when one of his boys needs to pull him aside, but like, yo, I mean, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not Wesley Snipes, bro. You need to chill.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't single-handedly save the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Exactly.
That's not you.
Bankrupt until Blade came out on that dance floor, chopping up all them vampires.
I wanted to hear that song. They did the Blade though, that thing that spins around.
They
did use the old.
They did use that. That was pretty dope. Yeah,
I give them that.
All right. Well, we talked about what worked. Let's go to the other side of that coin. What didn't work? All right, we're gonna start with Brandon. What didn't work?
What didn't work, Mr. Positivity?
Pacing was a bit off. It was a very funny movie, but the people who really, really loved it, the people who were mad that IGN gave it a 7, acted as if there was nothing wrong, and there were some nice gaps between my laughter. there were some solid gaps where I need the story to start moving and get into the point. I think by trying to give us so much fan service, sometimes it just didn't hit the mark. It was just like, oh, you want this saber-tooth Wolverine fight? Here we go. And it was over so quick.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so I guess on to the next thing. So the pacing really didn't work for me. And
just because someone doesn't last long, they don't love you, Brandon.
I needed more. I was looking forward more to Tyler Mane as Sabretooth than any of the other surprises we got.
Wow.
I wanted to see this fight. And instead, at least Tyler Mane got to show up. They didn't get Kevin Nash to be the Russian.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? That's what else was wrong. They replaced Kevin Nash. That's a negative.
Vinny was asked to come back as the Juggernaut. I don't know if Kevin was asked to come back as the Russian. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out.
No, probably not. They got somebody else in that striped shirt of his.
Yeah, we need somebody with 2 working legs.
Big Daddy Cool.
Yeah. we can't have him break a quad right in the middle of filming. The production. Tore his quad. Yeah.
That man has had his surgeries. He can walk. He can move.
There we go. We want to have a Lex Luger on our hands. That's for sure. Billy, what worked? What didn't work?
I'm gonna go nitpicky. I'm gonna go with some of the bad guys. the recast. You see, like, that wasn't the real Toad. That wasn't Ray Park. That wasn't Juggernaut.
Mm.
They could. They had the Psylocke from X-Men Last Stand, but
Not the same actress.
no, they didn't go. But I was actually
Olivia Munn.
Actually, that's the second time she's out of a Deadpool movie because
Olivia Munn.
she turned down the role of Vanessa to do Psylocke.
Oh wow.
She was originally the first pick for Vanessa in Deadpool 1, and she turned the role down.
Loser.
Well, sucks to be you, huh, Olivia?
You could have been pegging Ryan on camera.
Yeah, exactly.
It could have been Psylocke in this. They could have actually brought in like somebody from the new universe, but no, they went all like Bryan Singer ones, and didn't get the real people. They got imitation ones.
They're the ones that matter. The ones that matter.
We don't get the real Juggernaut. We didn't get the "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do much talking.
No. Did he even say anything? I don't remember. I think
he screamed when he got cut by the ankle. That's what happened.
Oh yeah.
So, he had an ouchie.
Yeah, so much for Unstoppable.
Yeah, just make sure you get those.
Just in the movie, and he didn't run once.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the unstoppable force, the Juggernaut. All right, you should run or something, right? No, I'm just gonna stand here.
He's unstoppable when he moves.
I'm not gonna move.
Tyler made him.
Tyler made him. Yes.
Tyler made him.
Might as well just brought in Sticky Fingers to play Juggernaut.
Oh. All right, AJ, what didn't work for you?
I'm gonna go with the trifecta here, since everyone seems to be on the same page. But I'm gonna go one step higher. I'm gonna go to the top. Cassandra Nova didn't work for me, and it's not because of the character. I think the character had a lot of possibilities. I loved Emma's version of that character. I think they stayed as comically accurate as they could with the fingers and just the maniacal take on everything. I just think that she, like Blade would say, some motherfuckers are still trying to ice skate uphill. I think she, unfortunately, was at the bottom of a hill with ice skates on, and there was too much going on in this movie for anybody to keep track of what the fuck the villain was up to. There was cameo this, surprise this, story this, what's going on with Wade and Vanessa, what's going on with all these Fox characters now trying to get their send off. There's so many. This gumbo, as Gambit would say, was so full of ingredients. She just got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
and I think if we don't do so many surprises, if we focus on the story, we do the fourth wall break, all the stuff that makes Deadpool, and we just gave her a few more scenes on just that motivation. Because I still, to this day, was she angry at Charles? I can't tell, because all it took was Wolverine giving her a few wholesome words for her to change her whole path of what she wanted to do. And she was okay with being in the void until all of a sudden she was no longer okay with being in the void. And then she found out about this machine that occurred about 5 minutes ago and knows exactly how to work it. But then it backfires on her because she didn't anticipate, yada, yada, yada. Brandon was mentioning something about pacing being kind of all over the place. I feel like Cassandra Nova was kind of all over the place, and it just became more, as the movie progresses, more about the blood and guts of the fight scene. Wolverine and Deadpool had two separate fight scenes and then a team up fight scene, and I still don't know what Cassandra Nova was trying to do exactly. I found that I realized in the end when she went to the machine that she wanted to destroy all the other timelines so that only the void can exist, but I mean that's not a ride that I took for the whole film. I kind of that now more toward the end.
Yeah, her placement and her main focus alternated too quickly.
Yeah, she was very easily swayed on every direction. She's been in the void for forever, but now that Wolverine's told me I should rethink things, that's self-analysis is necessary.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
It's funny because any attempts to make Cassandra Nova seem evil didn't really hit with me either. It's like she's some sort of warlord, like of what? She seemed to have her own territory. People didn't seem to mind working for her. The
Except
freedom fighters
got pissy at the end.
Yeah, I got iffy with him.
Like the freedom fighters, the Fox Avengers.
Yeah.
You know, they seem to be like
those are lower level guys. Those are like the defenders of Fox, right? The Defender Squad.
Yeah. You know, you get the Blades, the Electras, the Gambits, and
those are the street criminal teams. It's like
yeah.
Like they're, I guess, freedom. Well, I guess they're freedom fighters against Cassandra Nova, but like,
Yeah.
you saw how far they lived from her. Like, why
Yeah.
were they even? Why was
Like,
there even a problem?
Yeah, they had to drive over.
Yeah, far drive
Yeah.
too. That was like,
Yeah, there was such a
move.
badass team that Human Torch decided it was better to just fight this bitch alone. I'd rather not just team up with the other Fox people.
Yeah.
Like,
He was just doing his
like-
own thing.
like mad other Lokis presumably live on the void, just no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just that one rolling Eliath? Eliath?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, in the Loki series, he was just devouring whatever he wanted, however he wanted. We didn't know that he was working with Cassandra the whole time.
Yeah.
Big guy needed to eat.
Yeah. But that was the thing that didn't work for me was Goliath. It was like, well, what the fuck? You know, it's just random space ghost. Like the other problem I think is they were relying
He's a purple people eater.
He's a purple people eater. But they were relying too much on people having watched the entire universe. If you're going to go into this movie and not have watched Loki, you're going to be like, what the fuck is a TVA? You know, who are these people? Why? And I don't think there was enough juxtaposition to really explain.
Well, hold on. Deadpool did do a comic advert box at the bottom when they said Eliath's name from Loki season 1, episode 5. That's one of those things when you see a callback on a comic panel and it has that issue at the bottom corner. He verbalized it out loud from season 1, episode 5. Exclusively now on Disney Plus. Oh my god!
Can you imagine though if you hadn't seen Loki season 5, season 2, episode 5?
I don't want to say that your point doesn't like stand, Joe. But for me, as just like a comic reader, anytime I pick up a comic, it's gonna tie into something that I probably haven't read before, and I've just got to read the damn comic. So if you paid the money to watch Deadpool,
what's the percentage you think of people who didn't see Loki that's watching this Deadpool movie?
Yeah,
that's opening weekend.
Opening weekend, not probably high.
Nah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm saying everybody this is
going to be like enough geeky stuff where they research.
I'm a very empathetic person. I'm not saying their feelings don't matter. I'm just saying if you don't get the joke, you don't get the joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Brandon's like tough titties.
Yeah, you know, I once saw John Leguizamo on Broadway. He's for those who don't know, Puerto Rican comic / actor, and I don't speak Spanish, so I didn't get every joke. I still had a good time, my friends, and whatever I didn't get, that's my fault. I should have picked up what my parents were putting down.
See, your mistake was I brought a translator with me every time I went. I went twice. The first time I went with my wife. The second I went with my mother. Both are fluent Spanish speakers. So whenever
there you go.
I have to go to my captions, what did he just? Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Oh, he's a funny cat.
That's solid advice, though. I like that. So if you haven't seen Deadpool yet, and you're just getting spoiled by everyone, just bring a fan with you, and they'll just explain everything.
Yeah. That's a good point. And then another thing that didn't work for me was the resolve. The end resolution was like, we give out the touch, and then we fix everything. It was just kind of like, really, you know?
Oh, that's exactly what I expected to happen. That was a perfect ending.
Really? I thought that was kind of like, okay, a little cringy.
Was it cheesy? Absolutely.
It was cheesy.
Yeah.
It was super cheesy.
I'm sorry. Were you expecting compelling?
No, I just thought they were going to cut her head off or something. I didn't expect. This yet because she's in the machine touching it. If they just would have went, because she's not paying attention, that would have worked. And I thought that would have been hilarious to just come in, cut her head off. It's like, wow, that was a lot easier than we thought. I thought that would have been hysterical too, but I'm not the writer.
I thought it made a nice opportunity that she got digitized or whatever the fuck happened to her.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking for comic accurate, which I'm not, but if you are looking for comic accurate, Cassandra Nova wasn't like literally in the womb with Charles Xavier like natural childbirth. She's like a shadow version from space that then got into the womb somehow because comic books are weird.
Comic books are weird.
Yeah, so if Cassandra Nova as a psychic entity still happens to, survive this through the power of psychic powers, good for her. Cut her head off, he may not be able to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, just think about it this way. When they get vaporized, there's technically no corpse, and no corpse, no kill.
That's a Star Trek trope we often talk about, but they actually die.
You can ask the Peruvian government about that.
All right, well, let us get into the reception. Well, we're going to go dive into Rotten Tomatoes, and as we can see...
Why do we keep validating this fucking website? Oh, yeah.
I think it's pretty accurate. It's 80% fresh.
Do you want to validate like the other 340 individual?
Exactly, because there's a lot of different people out here, and then you got 10,000 verified ratings from the audience saying it is yummy popcorn. That is amazing. But what it really comes down to is it's money. Okay, Disney cares about money, and Disney hasn't been making the money that he was supposed to off of this.
No. I've been told
disagree.
Okay, I've been told 1,000 times. Just because a movie makes a bunch of money doesn't make it good. That's why every time I bring up box office, this movie sucked. It made
those people are weird because it's the studio see numbers. Otherwise, fuck off. So
the only explanation for 15 Fast and the Furious films.
Yeah, exactly. Now, why do you think they keep making those? If you stop seeing them, stop making them.
Oh, look at those numbers.
Look at those numbers. Domestic. Wow. So it made $205 million for the weekend. So now it made another $80 million this week. And we're only actually, since we're cat's out of the bag, this is recorded. This case, we're on Thursday, and it's got a whole nother weekend to make a ton of money. Worldwide, $310 million for a cumulative $590 million, and that's only 1 week, guys.
1 week, yep.
That is 1 week. Crazy.
Chances it gets over $1 billion. What do you guys got? What are the odds?
Oh, it's definitely. If it's already halfway there, and it's only been a week, for sure, it's going to be.
I don't know. How many times can the hardcores watch it? Let's see.
Oh, I'm going to see it again.
There you go.
Wow, there you go. Are you guys going to see it again, Brandon, AJ?
Well, hold on now. I have to take another mortgage out to go to the fucking movie theater.
You don't have to take everybody, but
I do the gentlemanly thing that all people who grew up with computers do. I give them their money on the first round, and then I download everything I need. I pay my fare, and then I enjoy the movie on my own time. But yeah, gotcha. I think they're gonna hit $1 billion, no problem. Yeah,
for sure. Brandon, are you gonna go see it again?
I don't often watch movies more than once.
Oh,
there's too many things out there, and I must watch them all.
It's a man of culture.
I don't. So it's one and done until someone else just puts it in front of me, and then I have no choice.
Wow.
His next step is gonna be on the back.
Well, I saw the YouTube leak, and that's how I saw this movie. So I'm going to go to the theaters and watch it official. Oh, nice. You get that popcorn bucket everybody's telling us about.
I didn't want the one with the open mouth. They bother me. They're weird looking.
That's the one I did want.
It's off-putting. I don't know. Something about it.
Uh-oh. One thing that I didn't want to remiss is there was a lovely scene where Deadpool falls in love. And that's with the dog. That really killed me. Dogpool. So,
do we have a reception? Do we have a reception meter for Dogpool? Like, is there like a rating on just the dog?
I think he's certified fresh.
I think he got over. Yeah.
He's over for sure.
Ryan Reynolds did an interview where he said that they found the dog because he had one ugliest dog. I think
in Britain.
Yeah, in Britain. He had one of ugliest dog. And they were like, awesome. They did the casting for us. This is perfect.
That's amazing. All right, well, let's wrap it up with our final glance.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
What?
All right.
What? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. There was still one reception thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh, go
How
ahead.
about the reception of Bye 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 being back on the charts?
Oh, wow. Yes. Yes. I've heard Bye 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 more now than I've had when it came out the first time. I like AJ was doing something before you came on and it came up on his feed. I
AJ
put it
never
out.
stopped listening to it.
Oh, okay. It's on
I've
repeat in the
seen
house.
In all
AJ
fairness-
dance to Bye Bye Bye. I've seen his
I still know
choreography.
the choreography. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that.
It was so funny because when we were in the theater, I had heard something about it being used in the movie. I didn't know it'd be in the opening scene. My wife actually heard more about it than I did, and what she had heard was that it was used. We didn't know he was going to do the choreography, or at least he was going to have a guy come in dressed as him to do the choreography for him. And I'm watching them do the choreography, and she turns over to me and she goes, "Holy shit, he's doing the actual those. He's not just dancing to the music. It's the
Yeah.
He's hitting all the moves." And we were like, "What the hell's happening?" And then it's fused in with him using an adamantium skull to beat the shit out of other people.
Yeah.
It's like the blending of worlds. I like this.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah.
I'm sorry that I ruined the final glance.
No. It's fine. But you can kick
ruined
off
it.
the final glance. Since,
I just thought it was worth noting that it's charting in the top 20 on all the streaming sites.
yeah.
I'll wait for final glance. I have a point to make. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go. What's your point? Go ahead. Go.
No, final glance.
No,
All
yeah,
right.
final
All right,
glance,
Brandon.
man.
Final glance, me. Please. I'd like to see. You gonna do the graphic again? Do the graphic again. I want to look esteemed so when it comes in.
All right, hold on.
So
All
the
right,
point I'm
final.
trying to make. The one thing we have not talked about in this entire podcast, and I think it's been overlooked by a lot of people, I know that we had insane news just happened recently when it comes
yes.
to Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought to myself, because I heard the news before I saw the film. I didn't see it opening weekend. I saw it on Monday, which was after the weekend. That's how Mondays work, yeah. But
Usually.
I mean, traditionally, but it. I thought it was way out of the box, and I was like, "Oh man, what a choice! What an idea!" Still don't know how I feel about that. But then I go to the movies to see Deadpool and Wolverine, and I see Chris Evans. Chris Evans in the MCU again.
Yep.
But not in the way that we thought. As a matter of fact, the movie itself teases it because in the beginning, when they introduce him to the MCU, in the trailer, we see Avenger footage, but in the movie, you see Captain America footage, specifically Captain America footage. And then that was like a piece of, here's something for you. And then Chris Evans arrives, and even Deadpool's selling it. Like, oh my God, Cap's here. This is going to be so cool. We've got the ultimate guy. This is going to be great. And he teases the two words. Oh, he's going to say Avengers. He's flame on. What now? And so we see Johnny Storm once again being played by Chris Evans. And Chris has gone public. He tweeted recently about thanking the guys for allowing him to play this character one final time. It's been a bucket list thing for him. So I can imagine that must have been a real fun conversation. I had an idea something like that could happen. I didn't predict it or call it. I just thought the door has to be open when Chris Evans made the cameo in Free Guy. When they did the Captain America shield spot, and he was like, "What the?"
Yeah.
Cool. I'm like, "Oh, they're friends. This works." When he did Johnny Storm, my wife, she watches every movie because she has no choice because she's married to me, so she has to watch everything. And there are movies that she likes, and there's just movies that she doesn't. The Fantastic Four franchise was not one that she particularly enjoyed, and she's not particularly looking forward to the one coming up. But she did think that it was hilarious. That of all the things that happened in this movie, she actually popped when she saw him. And she, because at first she was like, "Really?" Because remember, we just heard about Robert Downey like the day before, or like 2 days before, and now we see Chris Evans. She's like, "Really?" But then when he hit the flame on her face, What? They got her too. They fooled everyone.
They did a good job of that.
Talking like Cap, it was assertive, and then as soon as he revealed he was Johnny, he was just some. And where'd the Boston accent come from? Johnny wasn't doing.
No, Johnny was from Queens, man.
He wasn't making wicked smart jokes in the.
No, he's not wicked smart. Hanging out in the parlor, getting his khakis.
Yeah, let me tell you something about that Cassandra Nova. I was like, what the hell is that? I'm gonna skull fuck the Huskins and suck on those juggernauts. So I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Channing Tatum went to the same dialect coach. I guess. It was crazy.
Oh man.
But yeah, the final whole thing about the whole movie for me anyway, it worked on levels that it probably shouldn't have worked on. Joe, you said it yourself. I didn't get that ending. You know what? I think this is one of the rare MCU films no one gave a fuck about the ending to this film. No one came to this movie looking for plot, dialogue, or fucking nothing. They wanted to see bang bang shoot 'em up. They wanted to see Deadpool Wolverine do some stuff and then do stuff together. And then that ending, it could have gone. I did pop with the spaghettification. They brought that back. That was cool.
Yeah.
Things started spaghettifying. I was like, all right, that follows. That follows. And the lady, what's her name? The black lady from Loki. She's
the TVA agent.
Yeah, the TVA B something.
B Arthur.
Yeah. So
No.
you guys be Arthur. So you guys can build upon this because you guys, as much as I watch and as much as I know I actually come to you guys. You guys are more the expert than me. I have a question. Hopefully that you guys can lead me down the path on this. But when we last left the TVA and Loki's series, we end with Loki's arc coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really get clarification of what this means for the TVA now moving forward.
Correct.
This movie actually does answer a few questions. They're still watching the timelines. They're not pruning anymore, but they are allowing the anchor beings to allow the timelines to kind of phase themselves, almost dying of old age, almost like just
correct
causes as it comes around. Now that we've used the TVA to bring the Fox properties into the MCU, how much more of a role are we really giving the TVA moving forward? And I'm referring more to Doomsday and Secret Wars. How big of an entity now are we leaning on the TVA moving forward?
Brandon, you want to take that or Scott?
I'm gonna take a chance of answering that because
because you're not writing the story. So you're it's guesswork. Well, sure, it's topic conversation.
Last month, I would have said we're probably done with the TVA after Deadpool. But they recently announced that they are doing a TVA comic. The TVA, how they looked previously in the comic books, looked really weird, actually. They didn't look like official like soldiers or uniformed people. They had a really awkward, quirky comic book look. But now the comic book characters, their design going forward is going to mimic how they appear on the Loki show and how we see them in Deadpool Wolverine. So while I don't know how deep we're going with the TVA, what the next plans are for the TVA, I don't see them disappearing anytime soon, especially if we now have comics following up with like their appearance, you know, and in a significant way, because a lot of characters introduced in the comic, or should I say will be introduced in the comic, are coming directly from the TV series. They're not previously existing entities, kind of like how Harley Quinn in Batman the Animated Series kind of gave birth to her actual existence in comics. So I don't know what to expect, but I don't think it's, or at least I hope it's not chump change, considering how much energy Marvel's actually putting into it.
Billy? Hydra Bill?
All right. Going back to the final glance, my thing is I was really still loving that final fight scene on the bus with the army of Deadpools.
Matthew McConaughey is Cowboy Deadpool.
And Nathan Fillion was Headpool, the severed zombie head.
Ah.
Ryan Reynolds' daughter was Kidpool, and Blake Lively was Lady Deadpool. I want to see who else they snuck in there. Because, like, they got a bunch of people that have like no actual dialogue, and it's just kind of funny because like I love that they do that. Like when Deadpool 2 had Brad Pitt as the Vanisher.
And then it was actually Brad Pitt. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, what is this going to be like? It's going to be like, okay, Deadpool number 16 was really George Clooney or something. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Sipping on espresso. For the TVA, I don't think they're going to go away. I think they're going to have a bigger role to play in the large universe, especially now that Kang is removed from the universe because of reasons. And yeah, I had to go there.
Well, I
You did go there. That's why I'm laughing. For
reasons. Like incarceration thing, kind of the reason why he's been replaced.
Yeah, we didn't have to go there, but
the official written reason was bitches be crazy.
Bitches be crazy. Yeah. So due to those reasons, I think that they're going to play a larger role into interconnecting the multiverse issue that they have, because they still kind of want to go with that multiverse backdrop to bring in other characters into the universe, especially now that we have mutants introduced. So they have a lot that they can play on using the TVA to like kind of bridge the gap that Kang has left. And one of the things that Doom played most well in was going beyond his own universe to grab more powers to be even more powerful in his current universe. So the TVA has a great door there for him to pop on in and shock the shit out of everybody. So yeah, I definitely don't think they're going to go anywhere. I think we're going to see more of them, and I think they're going to be the bridge into getting a lot of these other characters in.
Speaking of bringing in other characters, with all the Fox properties and the new age with the Young Avenger kind of with Ms. Marvel and all these different people coming into the fold, and the roster is getting so saturated with talent, I just see humbly in the corner with a tin cup are the Inhumans going, "Please, sir, a few more minutes in the episode," and you can just hear Feige, "No, get out!"
They gave him Multiverse of Madness, and they failed miserably.
Yeah.
Leave, child.
Black Bolt get his redemption.
You get nothing. Good day. Yeah, he got a small redemption in multiverse, whatever of madness, but
Please, sir.
the Hulk slaps him. No.
If it wouldn't trouble you, man, sir.
So, do we think this is the turning point? Final words. Is this the turning point of the MCU? We're getting some amazing stuff coming out. Agatha Harkness. No. Brandon.
I mean, no, it's like I don't even know what to say to that when people ask that, because it's like I feel like people have been saying the MCU is back for like 3 years now. You know, Spider-Man comes out and everyone's like, yeah, they're back. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a fucking masterpiece, and like, yeah, Marvel. Now it's Deadpool and Wolverine. It's like, yeah, Marvel. It's like, yo, you don't have to like everything. I can't promise that every Marvel movie is going to hit anymore. It used to be that every Marvel movie was, you know, doing gangbusters. And now that there's actually less things on the horizon, you know, it's not like Feige throwing up 20 titles on a screen. You know, we have a few properties to look forward to. And if there's focus, then they'll be great. And will they all be great? No, because even back when everyone loved Marvel, I hated Thor too. So, you know, I don't expect
didn't like the Dark World. Blasphemy! They saved the day with tripods.
Hey, I love
Captain
America. I love Captain America: First Avenger, and a lot of people don't. So you know, there was never, I feel, you know, a time where everything just like I think we look at things with like rose-colored lenses. And,
you mean that people didn't like season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh wow!
Let's not.
I didn't even watch season 1 or 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Blasphemy here! Hold on a second. I saw every season, and I was at the edge of my seat the entire time. I had one of those toilet bowl rings around my ass. I was sitting on the boat. I was sitting on the chair waiting for the next season every year.
I don't really want to talk about the adventures of Daisy, Sky, Quake.
Don't say Gemma's name. Damn Gemma. Fuck Gemma. Trying to get that hashtag going.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been an amazing roundtable of friends that I haven't spoken with on this universe in some time. In our TVA, the timeline is being refused. We are going to have a blast getting into so many wondrous things in the upcoming year. We've got the console room, the Doctor Who podcast. That may not be every Tuesday, but that will be returning soon, where Ernesto dives into a lot of the Doctor Who verse. Of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention AJ Orsini's own Uncensored Mind podcast. I know there's a lot of 2BC stuff in there, but you know, he's got a great show. It's an amazing podcast. I listen to it all the time, and I text him randomly. So, you know, probably he's like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" Because I like listen and text instead of like forming thoughts. So I'm
He'll
sure
text me about the episode after like 3 or 4 days after I've dropped it. So he'll throw like a random line at me, like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" And I forget that I'm the one who said the thing that he's fucking quoting.
Yeah,
so like,
exactly. Exactly. If you enjoyed this show, we have 1 week later, and that is available on To Be Seen. We're talking about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I know that was a long time ago, but it's there. You might have seen it by now.
I don't remember it.
It's available. You can check it out.
That movie's
not to dictate what you should do or anything, but today being August 1st, they just premiered the Batman Caped Crusader animated series on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
You know, if in 1 week you wanted to talk about the Batman,
I think that might be a great idea. So
series.
Maybe join us in 1 week for that.
Well, you guys, maybe I might not be available for that.
We'll have
what was that beverage? Was that the blood of your enemies? What was that? Why is it so coarse?
Blood wine.
Generic flavor hot sauce. It's not even
nice.
Oh,
nice. Just
says,
random.
Just says hot and red.
I don't even know how I got this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, was that label in Helvetica? What is that from?
It's the most bootleg of sauces available. And if you are into Star Trek and enjoy hearing my voice, I will be joined by two other gentlemen. We're in the Captain's Quadrant, a Star Trek podcast done right. We're talking with some of the stars from Star Trek. We are having a blast in the Agony booth with Jason Roygaston, Jason Hatswell, and myself, Joe Dove. 3 J's, but we're not a law firm. You can hang out with us every Friday, 9 p.m., where we're diving into some of the worst of Trek in the Agony booth. We're having a blast talking about the current shows in the Captain's Quadrant, and we interview people in Section 31, and there may be some special news for them as well coming soon. You might want to check it out tomorrow to find out what that is.
Some previews of Strange New Worlds, new season coming up.
No. And then, of course, if you enjoy Brandon, you can go on our backlogs and check out all the wonderful episodes of Comic Conversation, where he was the amazing host of that show. We love that.
Back and log them. Go for it.
Go backlog. There's a whole lot of stuff. It's a lot. A lot of people watch that. So make sure you go and don't get lost in the sauce. I'm Joe Dub. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Billy. We will see you guys soon.
Later.
His name is John Cena.